Okay. Let's see.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The village church. That's the church where we were.
I figured that.
website and you'll see next
Where are your
September.
CDs? Phyllis, where are your CDs?
Oh, my CDs are for sale in the Queen of Champagne.
That's a lot of comfortable directions.
Well, that's what I called that series that I was doing, Jazz Communion.
Yeah.
And that's what it was about. It was just about people getting together after church, whatever church or
Yeah.
synagogue or whatever,
Yeah.
where whoever your worship was, it was just let's come together and, do have some fun. And whoever was in the audience on that Sunday, whatever friends of mine, it's like, oh, come on, you got to come on up here. And
Yeah.
it was that, and we had a good time.
Yeah.
Uh, you know, uh, but of course, COVID came along and slowed a whole lot of stuff. And it was so interesting because it was beginning to get a roll.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
just beginning to get that roll because I had just started it. But I don't know. I wanted to also mention in that piece there was a lady sitting there with a hat on. I don't know if you recognize I mean, she had a big white hat on. And that's my buddy, and I miss her so much, Vanessa Burch.
Oh,
You remember Vanessa? She
yeah, but it
passed away.
sounds familiar. Oh, she
She,
did?
yeah, uh, she used to be my musical director
Oh,
on a lot of my shows and stuff. Yeah,
oh.
but
Well,
anyway.
sorry, she was left.
Yeah, we've lost a lot of them. Barbara just left on, that was it's like, really? What?
I know it seemed like it was out of the blue for Barbara Morrison.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
seemed like, what? Wait,
yeah,
well, hold
that
on.
right.
Uh,
I was, I was like, when I heard it, I was like, wait a minute, let me check with somebody else.
yeah,
'Cause I don't
yeah,
think you know what you're talking about.
yeah, yeah.
But anyway,
I think because in her case, because she was so friggin' busy up
yes.
till that moment, and I think from what I found out about her body and the like after they went in and changed us, they put a stent in, and the doctor said her body is thrashed inside. She's not going to last long.
Wow.
So
I
she
didn't know
had
that.
been going along with her body basically getting worse and worse, so
Mm-hmm, hmm.
but that was one of the great things about Barbara that she just was like, I
Kept
don't
on
care.
rolling along.
Yeah, I'm just going to do what I have to do and what I want to do and
Hmm.
right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, it's interesting losing people, it's such an interesting part of life and when you think about your friends who lose people and also you who lose people and I don't know how you believe, but I mean I've lost my two twin sisters and my
mm,
mom and my best cousin, and they were all very, very strong influences for me. But I feel I can talk to them whenever I want.
I feel the same way.
They show up, and I know they're there.
Yeah. That sounds like my brother, my older brother. I have two, and but my older brother was very, very, very influential in my music because he wanted to be a drummer. He wanted to do that. That was his passion.
Yeah.
But life, you know how life comes along, and along came my niece, and then along came another niece, and then along came my nephew, and
Yeah.
so and so you have to, I don't know if you have children or not.
Personally, I
But
don't. My husband
right,
does, so
okay.
they're basically my children too.
But your kids will alter your career,
Yeah,
you know. My son, I have one son, and you know, he I started out, you know, on that road, and then, you know, had to switch reels and go become a legal secretary, and
yeah,
you know, whatever, you know, so
yeah.
you have to do what you have to do.
Yeah, and it's
Um,
that's even interesting because, we all have the same emotions and the same perspectives, but they happen at different times because we're different people. But
Absolutely.
so um, you know, it's your perspective too. What are you going to do? Are you going to carry your kid on your shoulder and go on the road? There's that.
And I did do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, up until the point where it wasn't working,
Yeah.
you know.
Right.
Then you know, I had uh, hired I don't know, nannies, I guess you could say,
Yeah.
to come in, you know, because I did not want my son to be uprooted from his home
Yeah.
to go anywhere,
Yeah.
you know. And but then that came to an end too. You know, it's you have to find the right person. You know, you can't just trust
Yeah.
anybody with your child in your house, you know.
Yeah.
So the person that I had, who was just wonderful, and my son just loved her, you know, her life was moving. I mean, that
Yeah.
wasn't her life's mission to be a nanny, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, you know, but my brother, I talked to him. But all I know, my brother was the one who actually was very influential in me being in jazz,
Oh.
because he was much older than me. And so in the house, he ruled the house when mom wasn't around, you know. And so I had to listen to jazz whether I wanted to or not. And listen to him play his drums, rehearse whether I wanted to or not. But um, between that and growing up in New York, and my mother taking me to the Apollo Theater to see everybody who was anybody, and of course her favorites were the Sarahs and the Ellas and the, you know, and I saw all these people when I was a kid, you know, my mother dragging me to the Apollo with her. And so I just really, from a young age, got just soaked with jazz. You know, whether I wanted it or not, that's what I got. And so I miss my brother now because we would talk on the phone for hours just about jazz, and him giving me life lessons about the business, and you know, what to do and how to go about it and what to stay away from, and what, you know, he was my lifeline with that, you know.
Yeah. That's so cool.
Yeah, it was. It was. It was. But I do talk to him. I have him sitting up on my piano right now, sitting up on and, you know, and I talk to him. It's like why isn't this note working like I want it to? Let me
These are
get
these are my sisters.
And you were a triplet?
No, they were twins.
Oh, they were twins.
And I
Oh,
mean, we
okay.
we took a serious
I love
picture
it.
this day too, but I have this up on my desk. So,
Let me get
because
my brother. Let
it's
me get
humorful, and it makes me laugh and feel good, and you know, makes me remember. Oh, that's a
Oops, can you
beautiful
see it?
picture. Yeah,
Yeah, right.
yeah. Wow, what a beautiful being.
It's so fun. He was so fun,
Oh
you know,
man.
crazy. Oh my God, you know. But yeah, I talk to him, so I hear you. You
Yeah.
know, I talk to him every day. I'm telling you, he's on my piano. You know, I'll say stuff like, "Hey, Raymond," that was his name. I was like, Raymond, wait a minute. Why isn't this note I want to sing fitting into this? And I can hear him saying back to me, because it's not on the keyboard, Phyllis. He would say
The
stuff
corners
like
of
that.
your ear, but it's not in the.
It's not on the keyboard. You know. Oh, anyhow.
Anyway, you've had like a really cool career, and I told you I was talking with Cynthia Utterback last week.
Yes.
We had the most fun conversation. I haven't talked to her for forever,
You know
you know.
what? Someone pickpocketed my cell phone over the summer
Yeah.
last year, and I'm still trying to collect and get numbers back. And she and I had just gotten in touch with each other, and then and we were talking a little bit, and then somebody took my phone, and so I don't have a number. So, but I need to get in touch with her.
I'll give you her
to-
number.
Okay, great,
But
great.
that's the cool thing about Facebook too, because
Yeah, true.
you know,
True, true, true. But I'm telling you, when I had that, I was just coming out of that whole as a matter of fact, when I was talking with her, I was still in that situation from the mold and out of my house for 3 months, had to stay with a friend because these people they wouldn't put me up like you're supposed to. That's what you're supposed to do. But, hey, I'm happy now, so that's all that counts.
so I didn't realize you were with the Fifth Dimension for so long. It was 15 years, is that right?
16?
16 years?
Mhm.
Wow. That
Yeah.
that must have been kind of thrilling to get in like in the beginning to go, wow, I'm getting into the Fifth Dimension. Wow.
It was very fun, and it was very uh it's a big surprise. I because I had the uh someone had told me they were auditioning,
Uh-huh.
and I was like, oh well, and at this time, this was during the time where I had given up my career again for my son, and it was like I was out of it for a long period because it was like, okay, I just need to stay at home and raise my son and make sure, he's not going to end up in jail or in a gang, and because I was a single parent. And so it came at the right opportune time because my son was going to college.
Hmm.
So I could get active again. And,
Ah,
so
cool.
yeah, it was a
Yeah.
blessing. It was a blessing.
Now I'm guessing that we could actually find some Fifth Dimension on YouTube. What
Oh,
do you
you
think?
could, but I don't know if there's any up there with
We could
me.
look. Let's just see.
Okay.
That's me. Get out of here. Um, let's see. I don't know. Let's just try. You never know.
Yeah.
Dimension. Fifth dimension. That's
Mm,
not you, right?
no, no,
Um, let's see.
no,
Did you
that's
replace her?
yeah. Well, yeah, I actually what I did was replaced Florence, who moved into Maryland's position.
Oh, okay.
That's kind of how it went.
I see.
Hmm.
Okay. Well, maybe there's not. I mean,
No, I don't. I have some personal
yeah,
stuff that I just haven't gotten up on the. Uh,
yeah.
but you know what? Um,
What years were? Do you remember the years?
that I was with them.
Yeah.
I was with them from uh, 86 or 7 to like about 2006, 5 or 6, somewhere around there.
That's just. I don't know. This is 60.
Wait a minute.
You said
Oh,
87. Here's live in Spain.
no, that would have been
No.
with that would have been with the lady I replaced.
Oh, wow. How beautiful.
Oh, wait a minute. I keep seeing something that maybe that white, that clip, play that one with Florence LaRue. It's in Spain, but I wasn't in Spain.
This is
Yeah, no,
okay.
that's the other girl.
They you get people up from the audience. Oh my gosh.
Oh, yeah, she would do that. Florence would do that all the time.
Here's a Fifth Dimension reunion, August 1991. I guess, yeah, I mean, you'd have to probably, this is the reunion, but that was probably the old guys, I'm guessing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, we'll find it. Maybe somebody listening will help us find it. You know, they'll look while we're talking.
Uh,
That's always helpful.
um, but if you need, if you, oh, no, I don't want to do that. I'm trying to, I wanted to, let's see if I don't know if am I still on screen?
Yeah, you are.
Oh, okay. Uh, let me, uh, let me see. Oh, wait. No. Okay. I'm not the best at this stuff. Okay. I was trying. Is that too loud?
No,
Huh?
no, it's not too loud.
These were some tracks that I've made to of the Fifth Dimension music but to put it in more in a jazzier type.
Oh,
In beautiful balloon, we can float among the stars together, you and I, for we can fly.
nice.
Oh, we can fly up, up and away, my beautiful balloon. The world's a nicer place in my beautiful balloon. It wears a nicer face in my beautiful balloon. We can sing a song and sail along the silver sky, for we can fly. We can fly. Up and away, my beautiful
Wow, you heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. Wow.
Croaking it out because it's been a long time since I just really sang. But then so then I just put together a few of the, but
That's really nice.
can you recognize what
great.
this is?
One
Can
lets
you
go.
charade?
Oh.
Can you picnic? Can you charade? Can you picnic? There'll be lots of time and wine, red, yellow,
Oh, love Yes.
Every
Yeah.
sassafras and moonshine, red, yellow honey, sassafras and moonshine. Sorry, come on and sorry on down.
Love it.
Come on and sorry on down. And then, of course, the all-time favorite. I hope I'm not taking up too much time with this medley.
Why not? We have a few hours, you know.
When the moon is in the seventh house and Jupiter aligns with Mars, then peace will guide the planets and love will steer the stars. This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius. Age of Aquarius. 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 Okay, that's enough of that.
That's so cool. I'm following a few people, you know. Yeah, Joe, you know, so maybe you just came on, but we were just saying that Phyllis was in the fifth dimension for 16 years. So that's why she's very familiar with the music. That I love that. I love the groove and the
Larry Ball.
oh,
Larry Ball arranged the music.
cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
He's
Beautiful.
he's such a genius at that. I love him.
He is.
He knows how to take a song and make it for you, you know.
Yeah.
I just told him the kind of thing I wanted, you know, and this is what he put together.
That was just wonderful. Really great. Perfect. Yeah. You know, I had a duo with Leroy Ball.
Oh yeah. Oh really? Oh
Yeah.
okay.
You know where we were?
He's a fabulous bass player too.
Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. Wait, sorry. Is Larry the pianist?
No,
No,
Larry,
Leroy is the pianist.
no. Leroy and Larry are bass players. The Lewis Ball.
God, it gets a lot in there. Lewis and I had a duo at
Oh, okay.
Simply Blues.
Oh, really? Okay. Wow. Remember those places back in the day? They used to have
Yes.
some nice, really good jazz places for us to go sing and do our
Yeah,
thing
they
in,
did.
you
And
know?
it wasn't just one night a year.
No,
It was like we had a little run, you know.
absolutely. You
Yeah.
made the circuit.
Yeah.
You know, and we made the circuit behind each other. You know, you
Yeah.
were there, but then I'd come, Cynthia
Yep.
come, and then, you know, all the other singers that were doing their thing then.
We had such a good time
We
in
did.
those days.
You know, I was out in Santa Monica the other day and I was on Broadway. Do you remember that place called On Broadway?
Oh, on Broadway.
Yeah, it was in Santa Monica and it was on Broadway and they called the club On Broadway. Did you
I
ever
don't
go
remember
out
that
there?
place. It was it
Oh,
big or
yeah, it was a big place.
I thought you were going to say it at my place.
Oh yeah. Oh, who could forget that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Great, great,
I don't
great.
think, I don't know if I knew on Broadway. I don't know.
Okay.
You know, Paul Krybick wrote in his very funny way, he wrote up a list of all the LA clubs he could remember. It was a pretty funny list.
Right.
Yeah, it just made me laugh, you know. He just remembered all these little, little teeny places. God,
Right.
when I was 21, there were these all-night places
Yeah.
on Venice or Washington.
Absolutely. Adams.
Yeah.
Adams. Yeah, because I remember when I first came to LA, I remember falling to sleep waiting to sing at one of those. They had to wake me up to tell me it's your turn, you know.
You know who I bumped into the other day?
Oh,
So I have this once a month jam session in Playa Vista at a really
oh,
nice room called the Conference Room.
okay.
Has a nice indoors and outdoors.
Why aren't I on your mailing list?
I don't know.
I
I'll
don't
put
get,
you on my mailing list. I'll write it down.
please.
Um, I'm putting it. Just put Phyllis on mailing list. Okay.
Right.
Um, yeah. Anyway, it's kind of closer to your side of town.
Oh,
But
okay.
so there were these beautiful women hanging out, and I was like, who are these women? You know, they had the energy that was just so great. Turned out to be Marla Gibbs' daughter.
Oh, yeah. Right.
She's an actress. She
Right.
was so cool. Oh man, we after the gig we hung out for about 2 hours. This little group of women and me and my friend and she's telling me about her mom, and her mom is like over 90, I think, and
Yes,
she
she
looks
is.
fantastic. She's on a soap opera.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
yeah, it's one of the
Cur-
main soap operas.
Currently, she's on.
Yes, currently.
Wow. Now, Marla, now she's amazing.
Yeah, talk about like another kind of Barbara Morrison type of person, right? She
Absolutely.
she made Marla's. I don't know how long that lasted, but it lasted a long time. Marla's Jazz Club.
Absolutely. And it did well too for quite some time.
Yeah,
You
really
know.
well. Hmm.
That was another one of our spots we ran into.
The
And
Parisian Room.
right, oh my God. I couldn't believe, as a matter of fact, when they tore that down, I was on the road a lot. And I couldn't believe when I came home one time and saw that they had tore I was like,
I
why
know.
would they let that institution go?
I don't know. I mean, they put a post office there.
And nowadays you get your mail like they sending it by Pony Express.
Yeah, the Parisian Room, ladies and gentlemen, that was a really cool club. The bar
Yes.
was on one side, and then the room, and it was just. I saw Carmen McRae there once. Then
Me
I
too. Me
did you?
too.
Oh,
Yes.
good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Kenny Burrell and oh my God, Ernie
Yeah.
Andrews.
That was a great club. That was kind of like a Dante's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And do you remember there used to be another place? I never did sing at it, but there was a place that I think it was called the Living Room.
Yeah. That
Okay.
was on Melrose. That was right.
Was that Melrose? It was.
Well, there was a place that I'm thinking of that had like very high class jazz there. You went
Yes.
in, you sat on a couch.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
and who owned that? There was it wasn't Ruth Price, but it was somebody cool owned it. Um I can't remember, but that was a long time ago too. That was
Yeah.
probably in the 80s, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe 90s.
Yes.
Linda's living room. Linda, I can't remember. It's kind of
Yeah. Yeah.
little, but I know some people are probably going, oh God, they're just reliving their past. But the thing is, it's kind of hard to be our age and to have lived through this earlier time in LA that was so full and sharing and active, and it wasn't as dispersed, you know.
Yeah.
The community was smaller. The you know the community was smaller.
Everybody knew everybody.
Yep, and
You
shared.
knew who the players were.
Yep, yeah,
All of us.
everybody. Right.
Everyone knew who everyone was. You mentioned your name and it's like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know what I don't I don't know I don't know how to fit in now.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know what? That's something real interesting to talk about. Because this is not an uncommon kind of a feeling. It happens every five or so years. There's a new group of people who have
Right.
aged and a new young group of people who have come in, and time moves on. And when I was booking that room, did you remember? I know I saw you sing at the world stage, but let's see, it was about 2.5 years before the COVID started. I had a series downtown that ended that I had been running for 2.5 years, right across from the Disney Hall, in this inside a vegan restaurant called Olak, which is still there. They have this great room in the back. As a matter of fact, my friend Sidney Jacobs, he did a beautiful video there. And I just happened to be eating there the day he did the video. It was great. But and while I was booking that, I was kind of, I guess the time period was kind of in an interesting time period where a lot of young people were coming up. Some of the older cats were kind of,
Moving out.
yeah. And like that room needed the artist to promote. I mean, I also promoted and
Right, right.
got an audience, but we needed the artist to promote too. And there were a number of older artists who I really wanted to support, but they didn't have anyone in their corner doing social media, or
Right.
they didn't know how to do it. It wasn't in their reality, right? It
Yeah.
was just like, I don't, this is not even real
Yeah.
to me.
Right. Yeah. There's a lot of people in our time that missed out on learning this technology in
Yeah.
some kind. I mean, I don't know everything about it. I'm still figuring my way through it, but I did at least, you know, try to keep up enough to, especially because I was still doing things,
Yeah.
and when I got out of the group out of the fifth dimension, then I was concentrating on doing me, which I hadn't really done in a long time. Um, you know, so I had to learn how to, uh, do the social media thing, you
Yeah.
know, and of course I could upgrade how I do that now, because everything is on what contact something. What is that?
You mean constant contact?
Instant contact and stuff, as opposed to just email,
Oh,
doing a email
oh yeah, like
blast.
the constant contact. You get a
Right, right.
newsletter and you collect your email names
Absolutely.
and send it out. Yeah.
Absolutely. When I do get active again, I'm gonna have to have somebody help me with that, and bring me up to speed
Yeah.
on how all of that works, because the technology changes every nanosecond.
Oh yeah. But there are these companies like I hired some people through an organization called Indeed, and I got some young people who were willing to work, like do my social media for a very cheap price. And I said, I
Oh,
have this many hours per week that I can pay for,
mhm.
and that was it. And then they took it from there. So I've
Oh, that's
I've had
good.
help in the last few years in that. Yeah, it's great. So you can actually hire somebody, or you could hire somebody from a school or a
Yeah.
friend's kid, or somebody, a kid who's smart who wants a little extra money, who's
And,
you know
and from school, a lot of times they can get credit from having
yes,
a school project,
yes,
if you're at the college level, so
yeah.
yeah.
But you just gave me a new idea. Like I need a new idea.
What's that?
This is what happens in my world, Phyllis. I talk to people and then something goes, oh,
Yeah.
and then I'm like, ah, shit, I have to put that on my list that's
You-
probably 75 pages long.
Running over her.
But see, this is what I tried to do in that jazz series too. I tried to honor older musicians like I had Donald Dean.
Oh yeah.
I think I even, yeah, I did it like a three drummer night, like
Wow.
Donald and Paul Krybick and Quentin Denard.
Oh God,
So
yeah.
I highlighted them in all one show. But maybe like something like where they wouldn't have to do, like social media themselves, but like an organization that you have to be over the age of, I don't know, 68 or something,
You'd have to be a
to be in
senior.
it.
You'd,
Yeah.
you'd have to be a senior.
Yeah. And call it something cool,
Right,
like
right. That's a
not
great
senior
idea.
jazz musicians, but something like that. I bet you and I could come up with something like that,
I'd love that sounds great,
Doesn't it
you
sound
know?
cool?
It
We
does.
could honor people, who are older and, I mean, let's face it, they're not going to be around that much longer, maybe they'll live to
Absolutely.
100, but maybe they won't, you know.
Right, right. It's not like we're on the uphill of life in terms of age.
I do have a few heroes though who are older. Well, Marla, as I
Yes,
said, is
yes.
acting still. There's a man that I met through this interview series named David Omron. You might not know of him. He's on the East Coast. He's 92. He was the French horn player who played on all of the bebop records like Charlie Parker and Mingus and all.
Really?
Yeah, he was the guy. Um,
Wow.
and not only was he a jazz player for French horn, but he was the resident composer for the New York Philharmonic for a while. He played piano, sang, wrote songs. He was in the Americana world. He was a friend of Jack Kerouac's for a long time.
Wow.
So now at 92, he has he always has like 12 things on his plate, and some of them are Jack Kerouac things, like because he's one of the only people alive who knew Jack
Wow.
Kerouac. So it's amazing. And I've seen videos of him playing piano and singing with young alternative Americana bands.
That now I must say too, one of the things that speaking of young, one of the things that I um, did with my jazz communion event
Yeah.
was I would uh, showcase my students,
Okay.
on the program
Yeah.
to give them, first of all, to give them the experience. Some of them had never, been on stage yet. So for a lot of them, it was getting experience on being on stage, being in front of an audience, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
Um, and I think there needs to be more of that uh, in everything. Actually, there should be more joining of seniors and young people than the young people moving in and the old people moving out. We have so much to share with them. You know, uh, our experience is worth um, it's worth a lot. You know, I mean, because
I think
we
it's yeah, I think it's great. I mean that's something that I could really get behind,
yeah.
you know.
Let's talk
Uh,
about it.
yeah, let's do it.
Hmm.
Um, uh, Hi Taylor, happy birthday, Taylor Hatch. I have a friend on who's a guitar player, a young man. He's very, he's a wonderful musician and great mind, and he'll probably ask some cool questions.
Okay, good.
And Mark Baldrige, hey, and Joe Jakovich is here, Dan Davila. Um, so, so I know how you came up. Did you say where you came up?
New York,
What part of New York?
Manhattan.
Oh, really?
Hmm.
Wow.
I grew up in Washington Heights,
Oh.
and that's how I ended up at the Apollo all the time.
Oh. Is Washington Heights, is that the movie, that new movie, Washington Heights or something?
I, 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 I I'm not sure.
Whatever it is, it's something Heights, and I saw it a few weeks ago, and it was one of the best new musicals that I've seen, because sometimes the new musicals kind of leave me, the songs aren't that great,
Hmm.
but this was great. I'm pretty sure it's Washington Heights. It's a really great movie.
Okay.
Um, okay, so, and then when did you leave?
Well, I kind of went back and forth, right? My parents, my grandparents
Yeah.
moved to California. So then my parents sent me out here to go to school.
Oh,
So I went to school, and then uh, uh, decided that I was going to get married. I was way too young, too too young, too dumb, too. So anyway, um, and that lasted about a nanosecond, and then I went back to New York, and and then came back here to LA in the 70s.
okay.
So and of course, and then I had my son by then, and I had always loved uh, California, uh, and I love New York too. Don't get me wrong, but I got tired of trudging through snow in the wintertime. I love to look at snow, but I don't want to have to. I
Deal
don't
with
want to have to trudge to
it.
work in the snow. I don't want to
Yeah,
do
yeah.
that. So I packed up me and my son and moved back to California, you know. And it was a good move, great
Yeah,
move.
yeah.
Yeah, that's when my career. I had already started into my career before my son was born. Um, but it really, I really got into the grit of things when I moved to LA.
Yeah. Did you, so like, I guess we met around the time, maybe we knew each other before, but I just, very fully remember the workshop that you and Cynthia had at the World
World
Stage.
stage, right?
So I may have met you then, or maybe, I don't know, maybe before. Um,
Yeah.
so, sorry, just got a little message. So, were you doing
What
like
on the
single
road?
stuff first, or did you go on the road first?
I started out doing single first, and then these great opportunities came up, and it was like, because I the first great I was on the road with Donna Summer.
Oh, wow. Donna Summer.
Yeah, that she
Holy
was such a
moly.
sweetheart. Oh God, she
Wow.
was so. And Rita Coolidge, I was on the road with.
Really?
Yeah, and
Oh.
Frank and Nancy Sinatra.
Oh.
So, these opportunities came up. So it was like, nobody knew who Phyllis Battle was single, so it's like, let me go. And uh, just wonderful, wonderful experiences, wonderful travels. I thank God for, if I never sing another note in my life, with my career, I've been blessed thoroughly through the years with the people that I've had the opportunity to work with, the lessons that I have learned, the places that I've seen. I mean, I can literally say that I literally have dined with kings, and uh, so I've been thoroughly blessed, and I'm just trying to figure out where to go from here now.
That's so
Because
interesting. You know what? I have a suggestion for you.
what?
You should read a book called Big Magic.
Whoa.
It's written by Elizabeth, I forget her name. She wrote Eat, Pray, and Love.
Mm.
Remember there was a movie with Julia, what's her name?
Roberts?
Yeah, she was a writer. She had gone to India for a while in
Oh,
Thailand. So
yeah,
that
yeah.
book, Eat, Pray, and Love, was huge. It was a huge success, and it was in her career. It was, not too far in. She had been a writer since she was a kid, and she had committed to herself that she was going to write every day. So she wrote every day for her whole life. And what happened after that movie and the book was she was like, okay, and people would always say, like, she'd write another book, and people would say, oh, well, I mean, it must be hard after a big hit. What's your next big hit?
Right, right.
So this book, she wrote Big Magic after that, and it was great because to me, it basically gave you permission as you're reading it. It's very user friendly to read, by the way,
Okay.
um, but it gives you permission to be creative.
Mm.
It's really nice. I think, for you, it might be a great, just little inspirational book right now.
What's the name of it again?
Oh, it's Big Magic, and her name is Elizabeth Gilbert. It's very easy reading, and I think it would kind of stimulate you right now.
Okay. Yeah, because I'm kind of like, I kind of have ideas of what I want to do. I think now that I'm in my new space,
Yeah,
I will be able to unscramble it in my head and the ideas and get something going, because I just, that whole situation that I went through was just, it, it was affecting my mind,
yeah.
you know.
You were in a mold situation. That was
Yeah,
what it was. I have
right.
somebody else who went through a lot of that. It was really difficult.
Yeah, it is. I mean, and the thing is, I mean, it's hard to explain to someone who's not a singer like we are, how little things can affect your voice. I mean, I used to, when I was there, I was waking up, and this is the honest to God truth, because my friends started bringing it to my attention. They would call me, and if they called me early in the morning, I literally sounded like a man, you know, and that was, I didn't know that the mold was there then, but my voice started, and it's still weird, but then I think too that's because it hasn't been used
Yeah,
in a while since the COVID and everything,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
but and which is something I want to get back into. I used to stay active doing my vocal exercises and everything, but I just kind of got in this, that if anybody out there ever deals with that, t- take care of yourself and deal with it, because mold is really something issue that you don't want to have to deal with. and it does affect you, even in a minute way. And everyone, and I would tell them she would come in and she said, "Well, I don't smell anything, and I don't, but everybody's different,
Yeah.
you know. Everyone, some people are allergic to peanuts. Peanut will blow them up.
Yeah.
You know, other people, I love nuts, all kinds.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so how can you just say that? But anyway, um,
Yeah. Well, I feel I feel that the voice, being a singer,
mhm,
is one of the hardest instruments there is, actually. I
yes,
mean, we have the fact that the body is the instrument,
yes.
and that there's, excuse
You
me.
okay?
Yeah.
You need
I
some
have,
water?
yeah, I have a chronic cough. Anyway,
Okay.
so everybody knows this who's been watching me forever, but
Oh,
anyway, so um, it's just it's more and more and more real to me, even at this age.
mhm,
It gets more real that singing is like you have to. There's head trips you have to
yes,
deal with to get your instrument ready,
absolutely.
and then you have words and emotions besides having to have having to have a nice voice.
Absolutely.
I mean, there's a lot. There's a whole lot to it.
Right. It a song is nothing more than a one act play.
Yep.
Because you have to emote feeling into it. It's not just singing it. Where's the where's the emotion in it? That's what makes music. I mean,
Yeah.
you put sheet music up there, it's just notes on a page, but we bring it to life. Or any other instrument, you know, brings that music to life.
It does, but still, I think, and I know you agree, singers, it's really
It's rough.
out on our sleeve,
Absolutely. Um,
I have a question. I have a few from Taylor, my friend,
okay.
but he said when you opened for Pancho Sanchez,
Oh,
what did that moment teach you about being rhythmically centered in the music? Did it?
um, I, I'm not sure what it taught me. I was so excited to be opening for Pancho Sanchez. Um, and I think, being growing up in New York, um, there was a lot of Afrocentric, Afro-Cuban, Afro-Puerto Rican rhythms, that wasn't a new thing to me. Um, so I don't know what I learned for opening from him, except that I was just truly, truly mesmerized by being there.
Yeah.
I was. It was like, oh my God, I'm opening for Pancho Sanchez. Oh my God, I was like, just like this, it was just a wonderful experience. I was like that when Billy Higgins and Cedar Walton produced my CD. I was in the studio like this. It's like, oh my God, Cedar Walton and Billy Higgins is producing my CD. So I I think I'll have to think about that and see what it was I did learn, because I love Pancho Sanchez. I love um, Latin music. Love it. I used
Yeah.
to in New York. You did dance. Hey, we had to. But so it's always been a part of my spirit and my soul. Um, but I don't know what it exactly I learned. Like I said, I think I was too excited to learn anything.
Well, that actually makes me want to go listen to a song. So I'm gonna go
Oh,
listen. I'm gonna go find a song. Let's see.
okay.
Share my screen, and then, oops, where am I? Okay, and just you. um, and so, do you want a particular song?
You pick whatever you want to hear.
Okay. Midnight Sun. Oh, great groove for this song.
How can you go wrong with Cedar Walkden and Billy Higgins?
Not, not much.
Your lips were like a red and ruby chalice, warmer than the summer night. The clouds were like an alabaster palace, rising to a snowy height. Each star its own aurora borealis. Suddenly, you held me tight. I could see the midnight sun. I can't explain the silver rain that found me, or was that a moonlit veil? The music of the universe around me, or was that a nightingale? And then your arms miraculously found me. Suddenly the sky turned pale. I could see the midnight sun. Was there such a night? It's a thrill I still don't quite believe. But
Whoops.
after you were gone, there was still some stardust on my sleeve. The flame of it may dwindle to an ember, and the stars forget to shine, and we may see the meadow in December. I see white and crystalline, but oh my darling, always I'll remember when your lips were close to mine. I could see the midnight sun. stardust on my sleeve. The flame of it might dwindle to an ember, and the stars forget to shine, and we may see a meadow in December. I see white and crystalline, but oh, my darling, always I'll remember when your lips were close to mine. I could see the midnight sun. I could see the midnight sun. The midnight sun. The midnight sun. I could see the midnight sun. The midnight sun. Oh, in your lips, my mind. Ooh, baby, when you held me tight, I still can't quite believe it. When I saw the midnight sun, I still can't quite believe the midnight sun.
Yeah, that sounded great.
Thank you.
And Tony Dumas. Can't forget Tony Dumas
Yes, yes.
on
The
bass.
the master trio,
Yeah.
the
Billy
master
Higgins,
trio.
Peter Walton, and Tony Dumas. Woo.
I talking about a blessing, and I was just, I mean, it really, literally took me time to get myself together from the excitement of having these guys in there playing, but it was such a wonderful, easy experience. It's one of the best recording sessions I've ever had because they did it. They let me do what I wanted to do. There wasn't restrictions. There wasn't, stop it here, start it there, uh, do this here, do that there. That it was a one, a two, a one. It was that kind of session.
Yeah.
We got together. I got together with Cedar Walton on one day.
Uh-huh.
He and I went through the music and made the selection. He basically, picked most of the stuff. I slid in an original song, and uh, then we got together one day in the studio, uh, and and hit it. That was it. So everybody just threw in their own. It was like a pot of gumbo.
Yeah.
You just throw it in there and let it cook.
Yeah. Well, that's the beauty, also the
Of
beauty of
jazz.
jazz. Yeah. You do what you do the best and meet everybody in the middle.
Absolutely. And everybody,
Yeah.
it just, I love I love jazz sessions better than I do uh, mainstream pop sessions. They're for me. Those sessions are
Work.
work. Yes, yes, and they pull all the fun out of it.
Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean.
For me, you know.
Yeah. I also had one of those recording sessions that I was flying so high. And actually, for a year, I was kind of depressed because I couldn't work with them anymore. It was Peter Erskine and Mark Johnson and my cohort, Philip Strange, who I traveled a lot with in Japan. But, but with Peter and Mark, it was the most gorgeous project that I had done, and it was just stunning. And we did it at Chick Corea Studio with Chick's engineer, and everything
Oh
was just,
wow.
the piano was magnificent, and then it took me about a year, and then I happened to be talking to an artist friend of mine, and I wish I remembered the sentence he said, but he said one sentence, and I went, oh, I just need a new game. I'm just, I don't have to, I'm still stuck in that. And so then I went on, but yeah, it was
Yeah,
so incredible and wonderful.
yeah.
My friend Joyce Glasgow, who's a fan from Seattle, she wanted to know how you first started working and recording with those guys,
With Billy and
Peter and
Cedar.
Billy.
Okay, well, my I used to have a studio. Well, first of all, I was doing the workshop at Billy's
Oh
place, the
yeah,
World Stage.
right, right,
So that was my connection with Billy Higgins.
yeah,
And then, so what, Cynthia Udebach, who
yeah,
was really started that workshop,
uh-huh.
she remember she left and went to Germany.
Yeah,
And so she said, "Hey, Phyllis, you got it."
yeah,
And I was like, "But I can't." She said, "Yes, you can." Right.
yeah.
So I took over, and I was on the road back and forth, and but
I
and so
think I
was
even
Billy.
I think I even did a workshop for you,
Yeah, I'm sure you
one of
did.
those at that time. Yeah,
Yeah, because I was
you
calling
were on
on
the road.
everybody to sub for me a lot of times when I'd be out of town.
Yeah,
And so anyway, that's how Billy and I, became friends. And so then he came in he came in off the road one day, and um, he said, I'm really grateful that you are doing this workshop and keeping it going and yada yada. He said, I really want to do something nice for you. I said, oh, okay. I thought maybe he meant dinner,
yeah.
a nice glass of wine, and when he, said this, I was like, that's when I went into shock. And I think I stayed into shock uh, uh, up until it was time for me to sing. And somehow I got myself together to sing
Yeah.
whatever you're hearing on there.
Where did you
But
record, by the way?
oh God, what was the name of that studio? Oh, I can't think of it.
Was
Nice
it in,
studio though. Nice studio.
was it in Hollywood?
It should be on the CD
Oh,
cover, I
okay, I'll
think,
look.
if you wanna.
Yeah, I'll look.
Yeah, was it Crystal? Crystal, I think that was the name of it.
Okay.
I think it was called Crystal
Yeah.
Studios, up in Hollywood somewhere, or Melrose, or somewhere up that way.
Yeah.
Hmm. And
So yeah,
was that it, Crystal?
I don't know.
Oh, I
I
thought. Oh,
can't
okay.
actually see, but I was just saying yeah.
Yeah. I
uh,
I would pull out a CD and look, but like I said, I'm still packed in boxes. So.
I have a few questions from Taylor Moore. I
Okay.
try and pepper them in because he's like pew pew pew. He has great questions. So his as a vocalist, how do you work on being lyrical when you sing? and creating a sense of flow when you want to emphasize a set of lyrics?
I always I always think about what my lyrics mean to me and how can I connect that with some experience that I've had in my life
Uh-huh, right.
to give it meaning.
Uh-huh.
Uh, and when I'm singing, I kind of sing in a selfish way because I go to that space and place of what I can connect with that's going to give me uh, the soul and spirit that I need for that song.
Good.
I hope that answers your
It
question.
does. I mean, to me, it answers because of what I think of and because of what I teach. You know, like for instance, when I sing a song, you know, I'm sharing with people, but really first, I'm actually talking to myself,
Yes.
whatever song it is, you
Yes.
know. And I have a little thing that I use in teaching, which is these three universes. The first universe is my universe. I have to have it together. I have to be communicating. I have to have my music together, right? The second universe is that and the band. So now we're in this universe together, and that's why there are no mistakes, right? Because anything that happens, everybody's hearing it and feeling it and working with it.
Absolutely.
And the
Absolutely.
third universe has those two and the
The
audience.
audience.
Because a lot of times young singers will start the other way around, and not even necessarily young singers, but you don't start with the audience first. You have to get your shit together and be connected with the band. That's
I
the
used to
magic.
do that. I used to start with the audience.
Yeah,
You know, it was about pleasing the audience. Oh, you got an audience, so you have to perform for the audience.
yeah,
If you perform for yourself, the audience is going to feel for it.
much more, right? I mean, because it's going to be the truth
Absolutely.
and magic, and that's what the audience can receive as a huge gift.
Right. Now, what was the name of the person that asked that question? Because I wanted to,
Taylor.
Taylor also. One thing I always did in my career and still do is that I do pick songs that lyrically I can connect with.
Yeah,
That helps,
yes, it does.
you know.
Yes, or songs that you've written, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Well,
Yeah,
you're usually going to connect with them because you wrote them.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know, they're coming from your spirit and soul of your experiences, you know.
Yeah, I don't know about you, but sometimes I forget my own lyrics.
Oh, I do too.
Oh
Been
well.
there, done that. And when I do, I just do the Ella.
I can't
Just
remember their
just
name.
kind of scat through it until you figure until they come back to you, you know.
One time when I was young, I was in an Ella concert and she forgot the lyrics to Memories Like the Corners of My Mind.
Oh yeah.
And I said, whatever, I gave the lyrics, you know, and
Right.
and she picked it up. She's thank you, la la la. La." And I was like, well, I gave the lyrics to Ella
Ella Fitzgerald. I love it. I love it.
Fitzgerald.
She was a special one. I had the opportunity to meet her along the way, and she was a sweet lady.
She was. I have to show you a sweet little gift. So this little, you know, and a
Oh,
little
uh-huh.
tea set. Carmen Bradford got from Ella, and she gave it to me because
Oh,
she just wanted to share it with me.
how nice.
That's sweet. So a little bit of Ella right here.
All right.
Yeah,
All right.
I know. It's very, very sweet of Carmen to share that with me.
Yeah.
Another great
She's
singer,
another,
a
I
great
was just getting ready to
person.
say another fine singer. Carmen Bradford can go.
And, you know, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, right? Her mom, great
Absolutely.
singer, and her dad, great player.
Mhm.
There's a lot of richness here, you know.
Yeah.
Here's another good question from Taylor. These are very thoughtful questions. It's you know, people, because I tell Taylor he ought to be like my co-host. Over time, what was one epiphany, just one, that you had in your development as an artist? I love that question, Taylor. Great question.
Say that again.
Okay. Over time, what was an epiphany that you had in your development as an artist? You know, just like an epiphany, and you went, oh, and it changed your
Of-
music.
Okay, a friend of mine. Do you know Gloria Henry?
Yes. Wait a minute. Gloria Henry.
Actress.
Yeah. That name is so from back.
Um, um,
Gloria Henry.
oh, 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 oh my God. I can't, I'm fumbling over her husband is a piano player. Um, mm. Okay, well, moving along.
Yeah.
Anyway, Gloria's an actress,
Okay.
and and we used to exchange artistry. She, I would, uh, I would give her lessons, singing lessons, and she would give me acting lessons.
Okay.
And she said to me one time, in her grand way, if if actresses could sing, they'd take all of you singers' jobs away. And I'm like, oh, really? And I said, and how is that? She says, because you singers don't act your songs out. And that was an epiphany because I realized at the time, I was a singer who just stood up and just sang, and I didn't do anything else.
Yeah.
And it was pre me getting into the lyrics of my songs. It was pre, you know, I had a voice, and of course she, you know, reminded me of that very.
Yeah.
You can sing, but you can't do anything else.
Yeah.
You know, and it made me think, and it was that coupled with an agent. I was pursuing work, and this agent wanted to know. He says, "Well, do you have an act?" And I sat back and I thought,
I don't know, do I?
"What? Right?" Because I was just singing. I was singing, and I love singing because that's who I am. But I didn't have an act. And that's when I started putting an act together, and that's when I started. As a matter of fact, that first the agent comment came first, and then I started working with Gloria.
I just went to look at her picture. I remember her. And
Yeah, she
which
was the first black
Bond
woman.
girl.
Yeah, the first black Bond
It
girl.
was, I just want to show people this because she was like really gorgeous, right?
Yeah. Oh
Woo!
God. Yeah.
Damn. This is her. This is her.
Uh-huh.
And I'm sure if you're a Bond fan, you remember because she was really beautiful.
Absolutely. And she did a lot of the black exploitation movies, as they call
Yeah.
them. She
And
did a
then
lot
this
of
is
those.
her as she grew older, a
Right.
attractive woman.
She's beautiful.
Yeah. Interesting, huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. She's if and she was, you know, because she's an act. You know how actresses are; they act.
Yeah.
It's just like, we would put all of these singers out of business.
It's funny. Hey,
But it was so true.
I want to ask you before I forget.
Uh-huh.
Um, well, let's see. There's a few things here though too. Hi everybody. Hi Hiroki. And Mark has a good question. I hire singers for recording projects. I'd like to know from you what makes a singer great rather than average.
Wow. Wow. I don't think that this, I don't feel it's just one thing that makes a singer great better than average. Because I feel like an average singer could be great if they work at it,
Yeah, but what would make them great?
working at it.
Yep. What's the result? What is the manifestation of it?
Oh,
I mean, we know that if you work
yeah.
at it, you can improve
Well,
and be great.
right. That's a very good question, and I
You
wish I
think
could answer it
you
for
think
you.
things like honest communication? Because to
Well,
me, I don't I don't necessarily need a perfect voice, but I do need some seriously great communication and honest,
that's
like
a good one.
very, see
Yeah.
through.
Well, and you know, sometimes, a lot of times, people need to work at being honest.
Oh, yeah,
Okay, so that's why I'm saying
absolutely.
working on it. What makes a great singer? Working at it, you know?
Yeah,
And there's a lot to work at. You got to work on your pitch, you have to work on your breathing, you have to work on the communication, like you're saying, connecting with the song. Um, to me, Whitney was a great singer. Whitney Houston. She could really, she could lay out a song.
yeah.
Um, Although my favorite singer in the world, and I have a lot of favorites. I love Sarah and Carmen and all of them,
Yeah.
but I loved Nancy Wilson.
Mm, yeah.
To me, she was a vocal gymnast, and that was my girl. I loved her. She
Yeah.
was she was great.
There are so many great singers. A lot of times when in this new day and age, I listen to singers, and um, my that's why I say my idea of perfect singer is actually a singer who's super connected to
Yeah,
themselves and to the God force, and rather than perfectly in tune and rhythmically precise and stuff. It's like I really don't like listening to singers like that very much.
I don't either, because to me, you're missing the the most important thing really in jazz is the creativity and improvisation.
Yeah,
There's no improvisation in you in that style that you're talking about. There's no room for improvisation because everything is uh, 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 everything
yeah,
is um and I guess that's what I love about jazz, because you can be you in jazz.
yeah,
It's like Miles say, there's no wrong notes.
yeah,
If you hit the wrong note, play the chords around that note and it's going to work.
yeah. Right.
That's
It's the possibilities. It's not. Yeah.
absolutely.
Right. Well, I was talking to Gerald Clayton last week on this show, and he said I would prefer the word freedom
Mm,
instead of jazz, because
yes.
um, that's exactly what you were just talking about. It's not improvisation in the way that scatting is per se. It's freedom. You're
Absolutely.
moving forward and you're free of all the rules and regulations, that you've either created or that you've picked up along the way. And it doesn't mean you're not doing the job. You're doing the job. You're singing the
Absolutely.
song or you're playing the song, but you're moving forward and creating in the moment with everybody else. That's what life is about, isn't it? So is.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You know, um, and of course, life is also about, you have a plan, but you have a plan that's not that rigid where you can't move out. If something, if a leaf falls, you're not going to fall apart.
Right.
You can move around it,
Yeah.
and but I like that analogy. It's the freedom. It's not so much that it's jazz, it's the freedom that jazz gives you to create. I never thought about it like that. I like that.
Yeah, I liked that too.
Mm.
Joyce made a point, which was Betty Carter was always herself,
Oh, yeah.
magical, distinctive, fearless, complete joy in the music and authentic. You know
Yes.
who I saw last month at Catalina's? I wish
Oh,
you were there. Dee Dee Bridgewater
oh,
and Bill Charlap on the piano, a duo.
right.
And what a joy. It was unbelievably great. Here were two mature jazz artists. They had songs they started with, but then they turned on a dime everywhere. They had humor. Her
Mhm.
range was incredible. It was absolutely incredible.
I John B. Williams,
Yes.
and I were kind of doing some duo stuff at my jazz communion thing, which I love.
Yeah.
I love bass, and uh, and he's such a fine bass
He
player.
is. He's great.
Oh, and speaking of that freedom, um, that I learned a lot from just doing a duo with John B.
Yeah.
Because he says he learned how to, because of the thing I love about John B, he knows how to play for a vocalist.
Yeah.
There are a lot of great musicians, but not all musicians, great musicians know how to play for a vocalist.
Yeah.
And he does.
Yeah.
And you know, we were talking about that one day, and I mentioned that, and he said he learned that from Nancy Wilson.
Uh,
Because he was on the road, he was with her for a long time,
yeah.
and he said he learned it from her on how to play for a vocalist.
Yeah,
It's
I
like
can imagine.
some musicians think that they don't leave room for the vocalist to do the vocalist thing. They're
Yeah.
playing through it. They playing through everything. They play through their thing, through the vocalist thing. It's like, hey, don't play there.
Right.
Just
Well, you,
like I had one musician say to me, "Oh, you just want box chords." I
yeah.
said, "Yes, thank you. I will fill in the melody. Just give me the chords."
Yeah. You also have to, as a musician, you have to have a vocalist you trust as well, you trust. They're musical.
Yeah,
They're
that's
you're
true.
going to take care of business like an instrumentalist.
That's true.
And let's do it together, create something nice together.
Absolutely.
Now, I wanted to ask you how you became, what is it, the arts commissioner? What is it? Of
Yes.
Inglewood?
Yes.
No, how did that come about?
Um, that's funny. It is. You know, um, I was beginning to call my councilman about people not keeping up their property on my block. And that's how I became known to my councilman, because I would always call and say,
There she is again.
but I mean, I'm like this. We live, if I'm on, and I don't have to own property in order for me to want all the property around me to represent the block I live on,
Yeah.
you know? And so, some people just started getting a little careless with things. And, so I would call and he'd be on it. He'd be on it.
Huh.
And he would always say, "Oh, thank you so much, Miss Battle, for calling." Because, he says, "I don't get out and walk the neighborhoods like that, so I don't know." He said, "Unless somebody calls, I will never know." I was like, "Okay, you don't have to worry. I will call." And so over the years, there came, we would talk, and he, at some point in time, it came up that, I was into music in my career and blah, 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 blah. And so his arts commissioner moved, or something happened, I don't know. And he called and asked me, would I consider being his arts commissioner for the third district. I said, sure. It sounded something, interesting, and something I would enjoy, since art is my thing.
So what has been your duties?
Well, okay, okay. It's been from like the when the new casino, that when they redid the Hollywood Park Casino,
Uh-huh.
and the new stadium, and all of things like that.
Yeah.
When they come to some sections of the place of art being used, where the arts commissioners are in the process of selecting some of those art pieces, stuff like that. Um, it doesn't. One of the things that I kind of have pushed for is for there to be more music involved things, because they basically are about art, on the wall kind of stuff, which is great. But like I tell them, so music is an art form, you know, and and there has been great movement towards music,
Yeah.
uh, in since I've been on there, because I can squeak when when I'm not happy. So it's moved along really nicely. I'm pleased with how, the things that they've come up with. They even made a component. They had a grant that they would give to people,
Uh-huh.
but it was just for I can't. I'm just for art, and there's a name for it.
Yeah, yeah, for fine art or
Fine
something.
art. Thank
Yeah.
you very much.
Yeah.
And so then I squeaked long enough. They put a component in that grant for music,
Yeah.
and for so things like that I
That's
do.
cool.
And what's really cool is this building that I'm living in, that I just moved in
Yeah.
to. I was, as an arts commissioner, I was actually here for the breaking of this building,
Yeah.
which, because I was a commissioner, it gave me that opportunity. And,
Yeah.
5 years later, here I am living in it.
Perfect.
So it's cool.
That's
Yeah.
great. See, now it makes me want to maybe create something on this side of town. There's been a few jazz things on this side of town, but not enough. And
I
wow.
don't think there's enough jazz anywhere in town.
Yeah.
That's my uh, Not enough jazz anywhere.
Yeah. See, I don't know if I have too much to do if I can instigate that stuff because that seems like it would take a lot of
Energy.
walking. Yeah.
Oh, energy.
Yeah.
Hmm.
What is that book in the background? I Dream a World. What is that book?
Oh, um, yeah.
It's a striking picture.
I don't know which way to. Oh, oh yeah. It's a portrait of black women
Uh-huh.
of you know that changed America. I would pull it down, but I think you'll see too much crap
Yeah, that's all right. You don't
behind
have to pull it down. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful photo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I have a friend who's a film composer, pianist, singer named Catherine Bostic, and she did she did the film to the movie of the documentary of Toni Morrison,
Oh,
and it was so wonderful. That was I knew who Toni Morrison was, but that was the first time I really got deeply into who she was, and it was really a beautiful movie to see.
I used to hang out at her house back in the
Really?
day. A very good friend of mine is her cousin.
Oh,
And before she became Toni Morrison,
yeah.
uh, we used to go hang out at her house. And oh God, she was always writing, 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 and it was so phenomenal when she finally hit
Yeah.
a book. It's like wow.
I loved reading her books because um, okay, so I'm a Jewish girl from Boston, from a small, like a middle and lower income area.
Hmm.
And, grew up, my dad was a sax player, so I grew up in a musician kind of environment too. And where we lived, we only had one black family. But of course, as I went on in life and also through jazz, I started becoming more aware of the black culture. And, my friends encompassed many different races and creeds. And so when I read Tony's books, I was really impressed with, let's see if I can put this into words that are, good, but I was impressed with how she wrote about the black culture. It was honest. It wasn't making it prettier or uglier. It just was an honest viewpoint of what it was, and it wasn't like an oh poor me point of view. It was
Hmm.
just an honest picture of what it was. And I really appreciated that. I guess as a person coming from my background with, how I came up and whatever I was when I read it. But I just really appreciated it. It was a very honest and
Right.
direct and
Which book did you read?
um
Bluest Eyes?
yes, I read that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which was very, very honest, and it is what it is.
Yeah.
Like you said, she didn't try to
Yeah.
make a right or wrong about
Yeah.
anything per se. It is what it is,
Yeah.
and that's the way it was,
I really appreciated that.
Yeah.
Yeah, interestingly, my girlfriend who did the music for the score was also she did Amy Tan's documentary,
Mm,
which was wonderful, and
wow.
she did the Rita Moreno
Oh,
documentary
wow.
that was out recently.
I am so happy for Rita Moreno that she is finally, it took her to get to, I think she's in her 90s, isn't she?
I
Or is
don't think
she close?
quite that old. Yeah, I think
She's
she's in her
close.
80s. Yeah, I think so.
Okay. But I'm so glad to see her get her dues.
Yeah,
She's and for her to be connected with the new West Side Story.
yeah,
I
fantastic, right?
just I am so happy for her.
Yeah,
You
yeah, I
know,
think that's really great.
yeah, because because first of all, we as women, all women,
Yeah,
no matter what your color, is, um, we've had a hard barge to tow anyway. You know, whatever the area was, we always had to try harder, do more, do better, just, as a woman. And then of course if you couple that with women of color, then they had to even do
Hmm.
even more. But women, we've always, had to fight our way to get to where we are today, you know?
Yeah,
And
and
it's nice to see when someone like Rita Moreno, who,
yeah,
she
she had
went
a
through a lot of crap.
yeah. This document. I don't know if you did you see the
I
documentary?
did not.
It's
Not
really
yet.
interesting. I mean,
I'm sure.
it's exactly what you were talking about. I mean, for most of her career, she was typecast,
Absolutely.
and it took her a long time to get out of the typecast. Long. Yeah,
And she has such a beautiful spirit, and
totally.
her she kind of throws all that stuff when she talks about it.
Yeah,
She's like
yeah.
water off the duck's
Yeah,
back.
yeah, 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 you're right.
I love it.
I
I
do
love it.
too. I love that. Well, Amy
Yeah.
Tan's documentary was really good too.
I have to try to get look that up.
Yeah, and you can imagine as a Chinese woman in
Mm-hmm.
America, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
that was also had its burden. Um, and, she had a difficult but still loving relationship with her mother. And yeah, that was a very interesting documentary as well. Really
Mm-hmm.
inspirational.
Wow.
Yeah.
We've come a long ways.
Yeah. And I'm just going to say, way versus road. I'm sorry. It's like this is driving me. My husband and I are just like eh, I we probably mention it at least several times a week, like that we're really concerned about it.
Mm-hmm.
You just don't know what's going to happen out there, and it's for a woman not to have control over her own body is you know
Insane.
it's insane. Yeah, it's just I don't talk about politics a lot on here, but that is just that's wrong.
Yeah,
It's really
absolutely. Absolutely. But I, I, well, since you brought the politics up, because I don't,
You
I
say
just,
whatever you're comfortable with is
yeah,
fine.
well, okay. Because, I wonder, I really, truly wonder who really is running this country nowadays. I mean, really.
Yeah. Well, yeah. That's a big open door, because there's within that door there's a lot of different opinions, right? And
Absolutely.
there's no way to know for sure,
Absolutely.
you know? So all we can do is do our best and, and there we are having by doing our best, we are adding to the energy in the world, and directing it. And that's, to me, I mean, I know a lot of people who are very active also politically, which is great. That's
Hmm.
not my road, apparently. But I
I neither.
can add a lot of good energy. And,
Right.
and that's what I feel like I can do, as a person and as an artist and, such.
Yeah, I realized I couldn't I have challenged just being an arts commissioner.
Yeah.
And that because I'm not one who's really I've well, let me say this. I've learned to hold my mouth a whole lot better than I did when I was younger. Because I would just tell you what was on my mind without any reservations.
Yeah.
And what you heard was what you got in all its glory.
Yeah.
Um, Now I must admit, I do, you know, curtail just blurting out exactly what's on my mind. But I could never really be in the political world because I tell you exactly what I feel, and people don't want to hear that.
Right. Yeah, they want to say, "How are you?" and they want to hear, "Fine."
Fine. It, okay. It's like, you don't really want to know how I'm doing, because when I start telling you, and then you don't call. So it's like, why do you ask? I, uh, my thing now is, as I say to her, I pray everything is going well. I
That's
don't ask you how
nice.
you are. I pray everything is going well.
I'm gonna remember that the next time you say that to me. My friend Joyce
Oh,
has a funny reply. I just have to tell you. I mean, it's printed here, so everybody can see it, but but you can't see it.
no.
You know who's running the country? A bunch of old, white, hateful, rich, self-entitled, misogynistic, sexist, sociopathic, and psychopathic men. Just saying.
Eh, Tell her I agree, but you know what? I'm gonna throw something in there
Yeah.
since somebody responded to that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give my opinion. I wonder, I wonder, after World War II, um, a lot of people were uh, leaving their countries uh, to come to America, and America were only letting in those people really those rich men that your friend was writing about, these rich people who had money, they could buy their way in.
Yeah.
And when you think about, if you think about where they were coming from, it seems like our country is beginning to be run like where they came from, without just saying where that is. If people, check the history and stuff, but I mean, really,
Yeah. It's
it,
very
it's
strange.
not just,
Oh
I,
my
you
God.
know, I know it's old white men, but where, where did those old white men come from?
Yeah.
Is what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It's one thing to be old white and American, but are you an old white American,
Yeah.
or where did you come from?
Yeah. Yeah. And it's what's hard to know. It's good and bad that we have the internet and all of that because it's good because now our eyes are more open. We can see so many things, but it's bad because there's so much. Uh, there's so many things that can be done through the internet. Everything from bad PR to fixing photographs to so much of that, right? I was just talking to my
Hmm.
friend whose future son-in-law. He's young. He's probably mid 20s, late 20s. All the scary stuff, that you can think about in these last few years, he's afraid of. And it's like
Hmm.
she's always telling him, you just can't even just don't you're young. Some of those things probably won't happen in our lifetime
Hmm.
if they happen,
Right.
and
Right.
don't live like that. Don't live in fear, from fear. Live, expect expect the best and put your best foot forward. And um, as I said before, that's what I can do. I mean, because I'm not like the social activist particularly. but I
Hmm.
can put out good waves. I mean, look what Barbara Morrison did,
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely.
I mean, as far as I know, she wasn't a political activist, but she changed thousands of people's lives by her,
Absolutely.
the way she lived,
Absolutely.
and her joy in performing. And so I think that's worth a lot. And that's another thing over the last few years of the pandemic and through the show, but also through just watching everybody online. I have actually felt incredibly, um, what's the word? Just impressed, I guess, with the amount of goodness and good music and all these good things that are in the planet, all over the planet, through
Hmm.
people who are aware and growing in awareness.
Well, one of the things that I was really happy about, along with amazed, um, about how many people in the world are actually conscious,
Uh-huh.
good people, was when George Floyd. I I have, um, someone sent over the email or something. I don't know where I got it from, but headlines of different papers, newspapers from all over the world. I mean, places I never even heard of. And the front page story was showing the crowds of people who were objecting and saying, no, no, come on, that you can't shove this one down our throat.
Yeah.
No, protesting.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Uh, I was like, wow, I I didn't realize that it was that many of us conscious.
Yeah.
'Cause sometimes you think it's just,
Yeah.
you know, but like you said, because of the internet and stuff, I mean, it was just amazing. I
I
was like,
know.
wow, God, okay, you you are in the hearts of a lot of people, huh? Okay, good. Thank God. Maybe we'll make it. Maybe we'll survive. Maybe the human race will survive. Uh, uh, Survive these. What'd your friend call them? Old white misogynist. Maybe maybe we will survive.
Yeah. I
I
hope
love that.
so. I mean, you know, that's I see a lot of progress. I listen to a lot of things like Eckhart Tolle and
Hmm.
Esther Hicks, and I listen to that like usually every day
Yeah.
because they're very realistic
Hmm.
and they're very spiritual and you can see that shitloads of people are listening to them. And it's not how the media might lead us to believe that there's only a small number of people thinking like that. No,
Yes.
it's the other way around. They're
Absolutely.
they're just reporting on a small number of people. It's really huge, and we are really in luck, because things are, in some ways, things are actually getting better and improving, which are spiritually inclined. And I mean, in
Yes.
the end, that's what's going to save us. It's not going to be, you know.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's why I said, "Oh God, it, you are in people's hearts."
Yeah,
You know what I mean? I mean, it got to the point where I thought, is it just black people who see the right thing and know the
yeah,
right thing? And don't get me wrong. I
yeah,
mean, we have all people have their share.
yeah.
I that was another epiphany for your friend, if he's still here. Epiphany that I had when I started traveling, when I finally realized that there are great people of all cultures. And then I don't know if I can say this, maybe it'll be bleep, but then there are assholes in all cultures too.
Absolutely.
And that it was like, oh, okay, God, okay. So somebody else does get it besides, my little group of people. There are other cultures that get it,
Yeah.
And I'll tell people right now, there are some people in my culture, I wouldn't give them the time of day. I don't want to be around them, don't want to, it's about where your spirit and your heart is,
Yep.
you know. And you know, I'd say to people, why wouldn't humanity come in all colors? Don't the flowers come in all colors? Don't, I mean, the array of flowers that are out there that come in all colors, that are beautiful. What, why wouldn't humanity? And why is it such a big deal, the color of my skin, that you're so upset about? What? I don't get that. I mean, what, aren't you looking at my heart? What, as a person, you know? I don't, the shows you were talking about, you listen to every day, I want to get their number or get their uh, information because I'm
I'll send
listening
it
to
to
more
you.
stuff like that too. I barely, I've really cut back on watching the stuff they put on TV. It's
Yeah.
just, I don't.
Oh, yeah.
As a matter of fact, I have been here now. Um, well, I guess I've actually been staying here because I moved in, started moving in on the 17th of March.
Oh,
Um, but I wasn't here yet. So I guess I've been staying here now a good solid 2 weeks,
yeah.
and I still have not connected my TV yet.
Good for you.
Yes. And I tell you, I'm my, it's like I get up in the morning, I turn the computer on, I'm listening to spiritual things, prayers, and I put on my singing bowls, Tibetan singing
Oh,
healing
yeah.
bowls, and
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh God, I may never, I may never pay another dime for cable. That TV may just be on the wall because I'm loving how peaceful,
Yeah.
excuse me, my spirit is becoming by not being like this from every day listening to that stuff on the TV.
Yeah. I hear you. I really do hear you. Yeah. It bombarded with the, you know, it's kind of garbagey, I mean, I like movies and stuff like that, but yeah, there's a lot that's kind of garbage sound,
Yes.
it just hits you and it affects you. Again, that's why I feel good about putting out beautiful quality music because it's a vibration, that goes
Absolutely.
into people. So,
Absolutely.
yeah, I totally agree with you. I'll send you the names of those
Great.
individuals that I listen to.
Great.
Yeah, oh,
I
my
look
friend
forward
Joyce.
to that.
Yeah, my friend Joyce says she doesn't watch TV.
Ah,
Joyce.
okay.
You're an
How,
artist,
how,
Joyce.
how long, Joyce, has it been since you haven't been watching it?
Well, let's see if she'll answer us. She's an
Okay.
artist in Seattle, and she's been very
Oh,
involved with jazz over the years. And she'll answer us in a second.
okay.
But anyway, it's been 2 hours.
It had, oh, it has. Oh
See,
my
see
goodness.
that? In the beginning, we were talking, and
And I
I was
was
just going,
worried.
oh yeah.
I was worried because I didn't have anything new to promote and stuff. You said, don't worry about it.
By the way, Joyce said her whole adult life. Wow.
Really?
That's amazing. I
So
guess she
how
really
old are
got.
you, Joyce? 21?
Yep, she's 21. She's around our age, I
Oh,
think.
oh,
But she's been an
wow.
artist probably for years, so she's, maybe just gotten into art and jazz and stuff. But yeah, tomorrow I'm going to have another thing. This woman is very interesting. What a history. I don't know if you know her name. Diane Steinberg Lewis.
Mm.
Such an interesting life. Like her mother, let me just tell you what it's about a little bit. Her mom, let me just look for my I'm sure I put her up. Her mom was Queen Lewis. She had like a Queenie Lewis.
Wow.
She had a hmm, I can't find where I posted. Huh. I don't know why that is. Let me see if I have it under events. For some reason, did I not make an event? I'm
Well,
sure.
while you're doing that, I'm
Yeah.
going to make a little girls run.
Okay,
I'll be right
sure. Go ahead.
back.
Um, oh, you know why? Because I put the wrong date. Let me edit that date because it says today. It's not today. It's tomorrow, April 20th. Um, oh, weird. Okay. It's not supported. I don't know why it's not supported. Anyway, that is wrong. I'm going to have to go fix that. Anyway, Diane Steinberg Lewis. Her mother was a pioneer and radio icon, Martha Jean the Queen Steinberg. And I think they might have been in Chicago, I think. And oh, or anyway, Diane was here in L.A. No, maybe her mom was here in L.A. Diane was singing in the early 70s in clubs here in LA, and she she let's see, she was signed to ABC, and she was she was in Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, the movie, and I guess she might have been on the cover, you know, in a group photo. Um, and let's see, there was something. Yeah, she was Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. So anyway,
Find it?
she was. Oh, okay. So her mom, Martha Jean the Queen, was an iconic, renowned air personality in Memphis, 53 to 63, and Detroit, and she was historically the first black woman to own her own stand-alone AM radio station in the nation.
Wow.
And her mother's brother and her uncle, Carl Jones, was another first as the first black quarterback for UCLA in the early 60s.
Wow.
This is her lineage. And then she was a singer in LA, and she was in Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, the movie.
Oh, I'm not familiar with that.
Yeah, so anyway, she's on tomorrow. It's going to be
Okay.
really interesting talking. And then I
I
have my
I know that tomorrow I won't be able to chime in because I have a meeting. You know, the church that I was doing my jazz communion thing that I was telling you about,
uh-huh.
Village Church. Um, life is so strange and funny. Uh, because I'm not doing they're going through a transition. Let me just say that. And so now Oh, there you are. I had to clean my glasses. So now, I am now their office administrator
Oh, cool.
till they get things.
Settled out.
Yeah, yeah. So anyway, tomorrow I have a meeting there at the church, so I'll miss her. But
Well, you
you
can
always
see,
put,
you can actually come onto Facebook. It's there.
yeah,
So you can
absolutely,
come, and I also
and I
have
will.
archives as well. And you
Right.
could even see Cynthia's from last week.
I intend to watch that uh, today.
Oh, cool.
I
Well,
sure am.
and
Yeah.
then just people know, but I'll say that I do have archives up every day, Thursday through Sunday. So you can always come to
Oh.
the Facebook and see one of the shows. And then
Hmm.
if you're in LA, Friday, I actually have a gig in Pasadena with Atmara Ruiz, Ahmet Sezin, and Joel Taylor at a bar called the 1881, and I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be
Where is
really
that?
fun.
Where is it?
It's in Pasadena. It's all
Oh, okay.
you can find it on my website if anybody would
Right,
like to come.
right.
But thank you so much for hanging out.
Thank you for asking me. I'm really, you know what? Before we hang up, can I do something for, I
Sure.
wanted to, uh, oh, oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Wait.
You're going
Ah,
to sing us a song, ladies and gentlemen.
right. And I wanted to, I just wanted to thank you. First of all, this has been so great. I can't thank you enough for, because I was so worried about it. I was like, with the move, I didn't have a chance to do stuff, and that preparation thing, I wasn't feeling free
Yeah.
to, so this has been one beautiful situation, and I just wanted to uh, dedicate this to you in a sense, okay?
Oh, thank you.
Let's see here. I'm a little slow at this tech stuff. You're way better than I am. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Can you hear it?
I can hear it.
Is it too loud?
Nope. No, you can turn it back up. Yeah.
I love the East. I love the West. North and South, they are the best. But I only go there as a guest, 'cause I love being here with you. I love the sea, I love the shore, I love the rocks, and what's more, with you there, there'd never be a bore. Cathy, I love being here with you. Singing in the shower, laughing by the hour. Life's such a breezy game. Love all kinds of weather, long as we're together. Love to hear you say my name. I like good wine and fine cuisine. Candlelight, I love that scene. But if you know just what I mean, I love being here with you. Ooh, I want you to know I love being here with you. There's no other place I'd rather be than being here with you. Basses, band are swinging, I love Ella singing. They are something else. They know how to say it, they know how to play it. They wind it up and let it go. Oh, yeah. Ooh, I love being here with you. Basses, band a swinging, I love Ella singing. They are something else. They know how to say it, they know how to play it. They wind it up and let it go. I love the thrill of New York shows. I'd love to kiss Denzel Washington's nose. I'd like to say before I close that I love being here with you. Cathy Segal-Garcia, thank you so much for inviting me to be on your noontime show. I can't think of any place I'd rather be. I want you to know I love to be in here with you.
Wow.
Ah,
Wow, that's a first. Thank you. Wow, my very own song.
thank you so much. Really, that
Thanks,
that, that really blew
Phyllis.
me away when you called me to, send me that email that said you wanted me to be on your show. I was like, me, really? Okay.
That was great. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you, sweetie. And I'm gonna be chiming in.
Okay.
I'll be chiming in on your shows now and asking some questions.
Okay. Have a great time settling into your new place.
Will do. And everybody out there, thank you for listening, and God bless, and have a wonderful life.
Bye.
Bye bye.